Is the new Joker film too dark? We're going to talk about that today with a Geek Dad Life movie review. Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Dad Life. Today we're going to do a movie review of a film that I just saw this weekend with Colleen, and it is Joker, the new DC comic Black film by Warner Brothers, directed by Todd Phillips and starring Joaquin Phoenix as the titular clown prince of crime. And just leading up to this movie, it was just post Heath Ledger as a Joker. It was going to be a tall order for anyone to fill in those shoes. Jared Leto tried to, some feel successfully or unsuccessfully, in Suicide Squad, and that was it. And then he was out of that role. And then Joaquin Phoenix, who is a legendary actor in his own right, decided to take on the mantle of the Joker in this film, set in 1981, on the brink of collapse, Gotham. So going into it, I was hearing a lot of things on both sides. High praise, a lot of concerns around the violence depicted in the film and how it kind of showed people with mental illness, and there was worries that it might kind of be too sympathetic to the people that do heinous crimes. And so going in, it was just kind of like I tried to have as open a mind as possible and to really kind of have my own opinion on the film once we saw it. But before we go any further, spoiler warning, I really will try to be as vague as possible, but again, I assume if you're watching this, you've seen the movie. This is your last chance now. Alright, so I expected this movie to be really dark, and it was, but it honestly, to me, wasn't as bad as some people were making it out to be. I thought it was a very realistic tale, whereas the Nolan Batman movies did ground the Batman universe in reality as best as you can, with a person wearing a bat costume and all the other characters that are in that comic book series. But this one was even more realistic, where it took away a lot of the more comical nature of the Joker character, or even just the kind of methodical, always thinking one step ahead, but really focusing as a character study around Arthur Fleck, who is suffering from mental illness and having violent thoughts, and has this laugh that is uncontrollable, and that kind of disturbs everybody else around him. So he's just trying to fit in this world, but the system just kind of keeps failing him. His parents failed him. The Gotham City has failed him, and eventually just gets to the point where it's too much, and he breaks. It's a dark movie. It's not a uplifting story where you've seen the Joker before, whether he's more mad and you laugh with him. That's not going to be this story. It's a very true to life kind of mental illness story. This person that who was failed a lot of steps in the way, and you're not going to be rooting. It's not an anti-hero. You're not going to be rooting for the Joker. And in the comics, I mean, he's a pretty horrible. He's one of arguably Batman's greatest villain, and arguably one of the greatest villains in all of comic books. And this movie definitely gives him a very grounded in reality origin story that I thought was really true to the character. If you've read The Killing Joke, which I think is what they kind of based some of this stuff on, it's not going to come as a shock to those viewers. But I could see for people that aren't really into the Batman mythos and stuff like that, it's not a Marvel movie. You can't just like kind of jump into it. You're not going to leave it feeling good. I didn't leave it feeling good, but I did leave it feeling like Joaquin Phoenix put on a great performance. Just just every scene chewed it up. And it was a riveting story that, while I didn't leave there feeling good, I did think it was a really good movie. So if I'm giving it out of 4 stars, I'm going to give it 3 stars. It's a good movie. Is it great? No. But is it the first time we've ever seen a true origin story of just a villain without really any of the heroes to kind of foil with? And I think it's groundbreaking in that regard. Beautifully shot, amazing visuals, disturbing visuals. As well as just an amazing performance by Joaquin Phoenix. So kudos to him for taking this on, because it's post Ledger. I think from this point on, it's just going to be really big shoes to fill, and he did his own with the character that I think makes this movie definitely worth a watch and to check it out in the theaters. So to answer the original question, is the new Joker movie too dark? No. I don't think it is. I think it's exactly as dark as I would expect a Joker movie to be. It's a dark tale. It's the origin story of the greatest Batman villain, if not the greatest comic book villain of all time. It's not going to be a happy story. You're not going to leave it feeling uplifted. And it's a very realistic story that seems really believable. And I think that's maybe the scary part in today's world, that you could actually believe in a person like Joker kind of coming to life based on the situation that this character is in. So that might be why people are feeling really dark about it, but is it too dark? No, it's exactly what I would think a Joker origin story would be. All right, that is it for this episode. If you enjoyed what you saw here, hit like and subscribe and hit that little bell icon to be notified when new episodes of Geek Dad Life drop. Tomorrow, we're going to keep the Joker train rolling with our top 5 actors that have played the Joker of all time list. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be dropping tomorrow. All right, until then, hasta luego and goodbye.